my name is Samantha and I am a member of Arts Consultancy Group. Due to the ongoing change in technology in the retail industry, our consultancy firm are concentrating on Lidl as a case study to answer the following questions. Why do Lidl need to change, and how they can realign themselves with the needs of the external environment? We will also evaluate the possible outcome of the strategic change program that they will consider. In order to achieve this, we employ 4 strategic tools, namely generic strategy, value chain approach, SWOT analysis, and pestle analysis. We use these tools to analyse the internal and external environment. Here with me today we have 2 other members of the Arts Consultancy Group, which is Aisha and Far End Ebbs. Before we go into the analysis, I just want to give a brief history of Lidl as a company. They were founded in 1930s in Germany as a grocery store, and since then they've expanded to over 17 countries and they have over 590 stores. The profit of Lidl in 2012 after tax was 37 billion, which rose to 43 billion in 2013. Despite the fact that they have, or they control, over 7% of the grocery sector in the UK, they need to still change because of the huge impact that technology has on the economy, online economy. So we would like to talk about the internal strategies that Lidl has. Could you tell us, Ebbs, about the analysis on that, please?
Thank you very much, Sam. Yeah, actually, we use a value chain approach to analyze the internal structure of the organization. What we first look into, we look at infrastructure. We find out that in the organization, they are using the pallets to take goods to in the warehouse, and they use it to in the warehouse for their logistics. And secondly, we looked into the human resources management, and because of a minimal number of staff, although we're not privy to that information, but we gathered that from the website, which said they've got over 590 stores all over European countries. And we observed that they've got integral staff training as there is minimal staff, and they required a lot of high expectations from them. Also, we go into their procurement. The procurement strategy is based on convergence and competitiveness, which states that they use the idea of heavy downward pressure on CPG. What do I mean by CPG? It's consumer packaged goods. So they use it for their pricing strategy. Then we move down to inbound logistics as well. Under inbound logistics, we find out that the LIDL stores are using minimum number of suppliers. Like I said earlier on, we are not privy to that information as well, so we can't tell actual number of suppliers they are using, but what we can gather is just minimal number of suppliers. Again, looking at the outbound logistics, the outbound logistics is the way they transported their goods to the other locations, and they are using lorries, which is cost effective for them, as we gather in the website. We also look at the services as well, and in that services we find out that the way the staffs are working is very attractive as well, because they are trying to put a lot more effort into the services. Why is that? We look at their weaknesses, because they don't have a self-scanning machine, which is where we use the idea of SWOT analysis, and we use the strength. And one of the weaknesses is that they do not have the self-scanning machine to operate in their business, and the staffs are delivering very well in that aspect. Coming back to the issue of value chain approach again, we look at the margin that the market share in the market is at the moment 0.3%. They are the last under the hierarchy of retail businesses in the United Kingdom. So we move on to the generic strategy. Under the 4 quadrants of Michael E. Porter, we find out that Lidl is under cost leadership, and they are trying to use differentiation as well, being an international company. They just moved into UK. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Ed, for your internal analysis of Lidl. Aisha, what are your views about the external analysis on Lidl?
External analysis. A very good tool to use to analyze the external analysis will be PESTEL. This talks about the political, economical, social, technological, environment and legal. Presently, UK is being run by a Conservative Party, which is led by David. David is trying to find ways of strengthening the economy. The economic situation affects Lidl and also affects consumer, because consumer income is quite low and customers want goods that are cheap and, of course, quality goods. Lidl has capitalized on the economic situation of the country because it affects its price, its cost, demand and profitability. It works well for Lidl because they sell low-cost goods, which allows average earners to be able to buy quality goods at cheaper prices. Another aspect of PESTEL, which we have to talk about, is the technology. Technology plays a vital role in enhancing user experience and cost effectiveness to the company. Customers want to have a good experience when they go into the shop. Based on our observation, when we went into Lidl's shop and then we did a brief survey on customers, most of the customers are talking about the self-serve tills. Most Lidl stores does not have self-serve tills. Most of the customers you have to queue up for the employees to serve you, and then maybe there are like 3 people in the shop, so customers will have to wait, which in effect means that technologically Lidl, it does not spend too much money on technology. This could be as a result of their culture, because they like to do things simple, probably because they are from Germany, and then right from their history, they want to make things simple as well. But on the plus side for Lidl is that they just adopted the contactless system, which is in vogue now, which most of the companies, most of the retailers are using. Another aspect which we have to talk about is the marketing. How does Lidl do their marketing? Lidl does not spend too much on marketing as well. Most of their marketing are done on print media as well, because they like to send leaflets and send emails to customers. We should, talking about technology as well, we should talk about the online. Most of the retailers now, they use online services probably because of the professional, and the people prefer to shop from home. They just go online, buy your stuff, and then they deliver it back to you at home. But Lidl does not have online services. This could increase their sales as well.
Okay, thank you very much, Aisha. That was very interesting. Okay, so what do you think are the main recommendations you would make to Lidl briefly?
Yeah, briefly, we've observed that at least we've been to 3 different locations, right from Woolwich, Lewisham, and Thamesmead. We observed that those 3 stores, they do not have self-scanning services, which is a big problem for the customers. This will allow them to compete with the big retail stores like Tesco, Asda, Sainsbury, just to mention a few. Then secondly, we found out that in the website, they do not have online services, which is every big stores now, they are changing it to, they need to adopt that system to make sure that people can work very well. Take for example, we're in the winter period, which people might not be able to come out there because according to weather forecast at the moment, we're likely to have -9. And imagine how would customers come out and get what they need. So they need to work on that. And thirdly, we find out that they are not on London Stock Exchange at all. And despite they've been long enough in the country, they should have at least changed their system and culture to embrace the culture here so that they can move on, so that everybody can have we can be privileged to see information more on them so that we can analyze better, because we are an accountant, and to look into their financial structure is a big problem because due to that. So that's all I can say. They need to change those three things I observed.
I would like to talk on their strategy, their choice of strategy. Lidl has chosen low cost and differentiation, but we should look at it. It's probably because of the recession. That's why Lidl are doing well, which is reflecting in their sales figure in the last 3 years. But we should ask the question: what happens after recession? What happens? Does the customer's view about their shop change? Does the customer want more? Do they want more product range? Do they want to go to the big supermarkets and spend more money there? I think Lidl should look into their strategy.
Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah,
Thank you very much. Well, that sums up really. That's the end of our case study on Lidl. Thank you very much.